2 years, Best Local Radio Show with the SA Current. This weekend I'll find out if I win global again for Best Local Radio Show and Best Media Company globally. We're on a global platform. I own a Roku TV channel on Roku TV, Inspiration for Life TV network. We have 4 magazine publications, and everything else you can go to inspirationforlife.org. Click on read it, and you'll read everything else there. This is just a platform that is for you all, and whatever y'all need to share your vision, share your voice, share your stories. We've had Miss Kathy on many, many times in the past, and we're here for you even now. And there's so many other blessings that are coming and are happening in the moment, even in, like you said, all the trials that Savannah mentioned. We're going through stuff. We're going through stuff. But I showed up today. I'll try not to be emotional here. I showed up today. I showed up. I wasn't going to let whatever was happening in our life keep me from being here today with you all. So I have a poem I'm going to read really quick. Before I answer. Okay. All right. And the writing begins. My mind clears to paint a picture of flowing words on what will soon be a masterpiece for the world. A masterpiece in which the words will captivate your soul. Mistakes made, lessons learned, tears of joy, screams of pain. Only the closest know, and the many that will never know or see. Smiles that radiate the room, but despair lingers in the shadow. Because it's a part of life that others don't see. Why hide? Why fake? Live, don't die. Breathe, don't suffocate. My inspiration died once before, but I realized how selfish of me. Open your eyes, open your heart, open your ears, because no one else will do it for you. Take chances, believe. Don't worry about the applause. Don't please others. Do it for yourself. Walk on the clouds of faith. Shoulders back, chin up. Now that's the person I've been waiting for.
Wow, that was amazing. The next person that we're going to bring up is going to be an individual that I just recently met, but she has made an impact in our community, and people don't even realize that women can lead from this kind of profession. Julicia Carrero, Dream On Group, owner and president of Dream On Group. Did I say it correctly? Say it again? Okay. Has designed, built, construction expertise for over 30 years. Being a woman, wow. First company, Tejas Premier Building Contractor Incorporated, led groundbreaking initiative like Maestro Entrepreneur Center, empower small businesses, uplifting communities, leading a $7 million redevelopment of a historical Bexar County building where it's on Martin and Zamora. She invited us to put on our hard hats and do a whole walkthrough with the 2 ladies beside me. Taking a leap of faith and investing her savings to create a business in the community that she's been serving for a long, long time, not only to support herself, but many others. Through her vision, she has reshaped and done construction industries by making sure that innovative designs and hands-on building expertise goes a long way for over 30 years. Her success in high-quality projects speaks volumes for herself and itself through her functional and beautifying crafted spaces for the community. She has brought growth to small businesses. She continues to evolve our community and continues to grow around the community that has been underserved for decades. Julicia could have built anywhere else and could have lived anywhere else in Texas or across the nation. But she decided to come back to San Antonio and build and invest in the community that she's serving now. Julicia, can you please come up and say a few words to our people? Congratulations.
First of all, thank you to our Honorable Lucy. We support you with pleasure because we push you forward and you bring us behind you, right? And that is something that you do it like nobody that I know, right? You're leading with purpose, and that is something that we need more women to feel comfortable doing. Working in the construction industry for, over 30 years, I love the industry, and yes, I was never invited. I was not welcomed through the front door, and things got a lot easier when I started my own company over 20 years ago. And when that happened, it was creating with no boundaries. I could bring what I wanted. I was creating my own table, and I started to bring the folks that I needed to help me rise. And a lot of it has to do with understanding what is happening in our community and how we play a role and the purpose that we decide to play, because we all play a role, right? And to me, that was something that I really took to heart. I never wanted to run for office. That to me was something like, I know it's a hard job and people have to do it, but I can be behind those and say, here's what we need to grow the community, or here's what we need to grow as business owners. And that is something that my voice has always been heard. I never take no for an answer. People who know me, they're like, oh, here she comes again. And, but to me, that's important. Like, I play a role. That is the role that I choose to play. And the more I'm in business, the more I want to evolve to be and challenge myself to be something else, right? And I encourage you as women, we talk about our struggles. I don't talk about our struggles anymore. I talk about the things that we have accomplished, because that's what really matters the most, and that's the impact that we can inspire others to do. And to me, as we were building those tables, because we're not going to be invited all the time, but we have to build those tables, and let's grab as many women as we can to those tables so that their voices are being heard, and they learn as women, as mothers, as entrepreneurs, as leaders in this community, that we have each other to lean on. And that is the biggest thing that I can hope for all of us to take with us today. Thank you so much for this.
Wow, who would have known, a woman in construction, right? Powerful, powerful. So this young lady, I met her, very young actually. I met her as she was building her business, and it was very exciting because when I see a 20-something-year-old woman being an entrepreneur and possibly a multi-million-dollar business owner and working on faith, and then when I did her ribbon cutting and I met her family, and I saw that her family came from Mexico and were Latinos, Hispanos, it really empowered me to continue doing what we do for our community, something I've been doing before I even got elected. Priscilla Rivera, that's what I'm talking about. Priscilla Rivera from Dominion Suites faithfully used $250 to launch her first business. Wow. Her humble beginnings from lashes and makeup to making her own lash line. This woman has led many, many ways of leading others to own their own business. She leads a consulting company offering credit repair, tax prep, and business mentoring. She co-owns with her husband the epoxy business. She's committed to faith, family, and breaking generational curse and cycles, and she has continued to evolve the community alongside her. She began her journey with a deep sense of faith, trusting her God, giving purpose to guide her through the uncertainty of starting businesses with limited resources. I found this young lady on social media. I'm always searching social media. I was elected. I'm always searching social media to see who we can help with our platform. But her unwavering determination, her untireless working night to days and nights, I see it, turning small opportunities into a steady growth. Her belief and discipline stood up to many others, even when times were getting challenging for her community and for herself. Her forward thinking and her success shows for herself. Priscilla, when I met your family, and I did the ribbon cutting with Susan, I think we did it 3 years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago, and I saw her familia. Her familia came from all over the place. But when I met her and saw that she was very young and wanting to be an entrepreneur and driven to start her own business with only $250 in her pocket, if you go to her suite, you would be amazed to what she owns. that makes us proud of being a DBA and assumed name owner of the clerk's responsibility. Because entrepreneurship and starting small businesses start small, but can grow big. And if we include our families and include our community and give your platform to others, that's what Priscilla has been doing. That's what I have been seeing in her, and I continue to see that in her. And I see businesses that champion her on social media saying, thank you for teaching me how to become a business owner in my home. So Priscilla, muchas gracias for doing your business here in San Antonio, and thank you for sharing your platform with many other leaders in our community. Thank you.
I'm a little nervous, so cope with me. I said I wasn't gonna cry. But when I do things like this, I always want to make sure that I'm spirit-led and it's not scripted, because I want to make sure that I speak from the heart and I speak what God has put in me, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Him. So first and foremost, I want to give God all the honor, glory, and praise, because coming from an immigrant family, we didn't have much. We had nothing. I see my mom struggle so much to give us a different life. From shopping in the flea market, getting our clothes, to, teaching us, it doesn't matter where you come from. All that matters is your integrity. Who you are and how you act and how you treat others is the most important thing. As to why I teach others to carry the same thing, because it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter where you come from. If you have a heart to serve others, then that's when God will work for you. And I feel in my story, in my life, and what God has given me, He's given me the ability to serve others, to be able to speak for the voiceless, for people who have gone through so much but don't have the capacity, to feel worthy. Like Lucy mentioned, as women, people look down on us because they feel that we're not capable. But now we're in 2026, and women are taking over. That we're leading and guiding, not just women, but our husbands to grow and become bigger than what they could have imagined. So I want to thank everybody that's here, because I know that we've all gone through the motions to get to this point. We've all faced challenges. We've all been mocked, ridiculed, belittled. But at the end of the day, when God chooses you to become somebody, and He chooses you for a greater assignment, to call on to nations, to sit here and prophesy and pray over people so you can speak life and testify of His goodness, that's when everything starts shifting. That's when everything starts changing. And yes, we do have a head on our head, because we're doing the Lord's work. We're serving one another and showing people what it's supposed to be like to walk with one another, not with the hatred, not with the pettiness. And when we learn to sit here and really support one another, you'll realize how powerful God will work in your life, and how He'll use your voice to testify to everyone around you. And in that, you're going to plant seeds in everybody, and those seeds will be planted. So you're not just here to serve, you're also here to create leaders, and creating other leaders that are going to repeat the cycle that you're doing to be able to be that voice for other people. So I want to thank my family, my mom. My dad couldn't be here because my dad is very sick. But they taught us principles. They taught us to work hard for what we want, not to take advantage of nobody, but to sit here and do what's right within one another. And in that, I want to make sure that I demonstrate that to my family, my kids, to the people around me, to understand that walking in this integrity will get you in rooms that you've never imagined. Because when I'm in rooms like this, it opens my eyes to realize, like, God, like, you choose nothing and you turn it into something. So, I didn't have to speak for them, but I know that everybody here has purpose. Whether you were chosen to be on this platform or not, you're here. And He's by divine appointment. Everything is orchestrated by Him. And He sits you here in these places because He wants you to surround yourself with women, to tell yourself that you're capable of doing it too. And you can bring a lot of others with you. And yes, it'll be challenging, because you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But when you look at the good and the bad, and you see how much the good outweighs, you'll realize the thousands of people that you've impacted and continue to impact because of your voice. And then regardless if the enemy attacks, you don't give down for nothing. because that's what we're here for, to fight the good fight of faith, to continue to push and to create on other leaders so our kids can see that and our kids can follow in our footsteps. So thank you, everyone.
Wow. Yes. The next individual, there was a program, before I became the elected official, I've been serving the community for over 30 years, and I've been serving Bexar County for 29 years. When I married my husband in the underserved community of the rural South Side, I needed help. I needed help from the community because in the rural community, there's no resources, there's lack of transportation. I went to a Bridging the Gap meeting for Pastor Jimmy Robles, who would bridge the gap for many in our community. And in that meeting, I saw a powerful woman who was there with passion, purpose, and driven. Pamela Espera Allen, the CEO of Eagles Flight Advocacy and Outreach, the founder of EFAO, who led for over 13 years, but has led many other nonprofits for over 20 years. This young lady has been a powerhouse in the community that she says yes to everybody and says no to nothing. She has advocated for refugees, children, the vulnerable population, has expanded her services to serve those with disabilities, senior citizens, women going through domestic violence, families going through crises, and providing barriers for babies who are abandoned and abused and murdered by their own families. She is an advocate who has not only fought here in the city of San Antonio and Bexar County, but in the state of Texas for Baby Moses Law. There's a reason why their boxes are coming out, because of Pamela Allen. She has received many honors, but the biggest honor to her is serving her God, her children, her family, and the community. Pamela dedicated her life to the people. She has been the voice for reason. She has been the voice for children who have been abused, to mothers who have been abused, and to a community who has not been heard. Most of all, the disabled community that goes through the art programs through the schools. She is a powerhouse in other places that people don't even realize that she's at. I have seen her work in those places. Sometimes when the media is not around, she's there working hard to support our community. Starting with a small act of service, she grew her nonprofit for the benefit of the community she served. She built programs and even survived COVID when everybody shut their doors during COVID. Her outreach goes a long way. She has gone outside of the city of San Antonio, and she continues to remind others to join forces where there is another nonprofit. I have sat at tables where she has helped people create their own nonprofits. Because one nonprofit who does the same thing cannot do everything in the United States or in the city of San Antonio or Bexar County. Pamela Allen was sick at times, but she would put on her sweaters and put on her warm-ups and put on her clothes and go serve the community. She has worked tirelessly, and I have been beside her, and some we have not been beside each other, but she will work till the night. She has picked up food at Traders Village on Sundays while everybody's sleeping. One important part of Pamela Allen is when she buries these babies, she adopts these babies. These babies were killed by their family. These babies didn't even have a first name. Her and her husband adopt these babies, give them a name, and give them godparents. And I'm actually a godparent to one of them. Pamela Allen, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being a champion in our community. Thank you for being a strong voice of reason. Thank you for never giving up, even when people would attack you. Thank you for caring for the voiceless. And please continue to fight for the people that you've been serving for decades. At this time, I call Pamela Allen to the front, CEO of Eagles Flight.
Thank you so much for this tremendous honor. It is a blessing, and it's amazing to be able to be recognized. But as we look and pay tribute to Women's History Month, cannot forget the women who brought us here. Because in order to stand where you're going, you have to give respect to where you've been. And my mother was a strong force behind us, behind her daughters and her son. A single mom with 6 children, raising them, getting her master's degree in child psychology and case management, and being frustrated most of those days because she raised 6 of us and I was her 3rd child, and that within itself was, a hard task for her. But she taught us to use our voice. The name Espurua, which is Basque, also means pure voice. We took that to heart. I would not be standing where I am without my mother and her support, without her mother, Tula Guerra, I love that last name, for my father's mother, Anita Palacios, and my mother who taught us our traditions. We're very multi-ethnic, and so I have another grandmother, Francesca Townsend, and I am also on the lineage of Light Townsend, who was a Texas Ranger. We have strong roots here, very strong roots. And although the military has carried us in and out, we've always considered that San Antonio was our home. My mother worked tirelessly here at CPS, helping children be safe. And back in the day, way back in the day, she used to bring those children home, and we used to have extra children around our table, and always making sure that they were fed and they were clothed. And that's something we grew up doing. My grandmother was a foster grandmother, and she used to help watch Mayor Cisneros' son when he was very ill. She used to be on that force, she used to be on that force taking care of him, making sure that John Paul was okay. So we do have that history. Even here today, we have 3 other nonprofits with myself. And I'm going to tell you, women in nonprofits, what a force to be reckoned with. I am so honored to be here with these ladies today. And Miss Marion is a force over on the northeast side. Miss Kathy has just dug her heels in and said these children will not go without, and has taken care of so many. Because what I've understood now is when you link arms, what a stronger force you are, especially if you're women. When you link those arms, there's nothing that can stand against you. Miss Cynthia, who's with Rosie's Gracious Heart, her mama used to be my son's one-on-one aide when he was in elementary school. There's history here, and I always remember your mama, Ponce. What a force she was. There's history within us, there's history around us, but as we go forward, we're making our own history, we're making an impact. We're showing others that no matter where you started, it's where you end up. That's most important. I am the product of a cycle breaker. Someone had just said that before. My mother grew up in poverty, extreme poverty. She graduated from Edgewood in 1956. Salute. She was an amazing force, her and her twin sister. They both graduated high school. They both went to college. And they both became cycle breakers, saying to their children, this will never happen to you. We will teach you how to be strong. And I am the result of that. Sometimes I tell Lucy, Sammy, her daughter, is the result of a cycle breaker. And we all have our stories of those who've gone before us and broken cycles over our lives. And we stand victorious because of that. The greatest gift my mother gave me was the gift of faith. And that continues to guide me. Today is an amazing day as our former Mayor Ed Garza signed into proclamation the Baby Moses Awareness Day. We are continuing to fight that fight. We changed the law a couple of years back to incorporate safety devices into fire stations. We're going to continue to make sure that that's done. The city of San Antonio has put aside $425,000 to start the installation of those safety boxes. But we'll continue to push the Baby Moses Law. I love when people send me pictures of the Baby Moses Law signs at VIA. Metro buses. We have a great alliance with them and they help us spread the word. We will continue to do that. We'll continue to stand strong with families, and we will continue to be a force to be reckoned with here in San Antonio and beyond. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you. So, the next individual, this young lady, she does a lot for our community. She has continued to bridge the gap between senior citizens and the underserved community. Miriam Thomas, Blessed Angels. She serves her church and saw a purpose in serving others through Blessed Angels. Since 2014, her nonprofit, Blessed Angels, offers food pantry services to low-income veterans, seniors, children, and their families. I have seen Miriam Thomas personally, even before I became the county clerk, serve the community at times when she didn't even know where she was going to get funding from or support. Miriam Thomas has continued to grow her access to the community by using her own pain to benefit others, is how I would describe Miriam Thomas. This is what drove her mission of creating Blessed Angels Community Center that continues to grow. I think you own 2 buildings now, right? 5 buildings. Wow, 2, now 5. Where she has created a safe space and a welcoming area where anyone in need could find support, resources, and hope. With determination, compassion, she has turned the vision into a thriving community center. Whenever I visit the center, I see what determination is to this woman. This woman continues to not only provide services, but also have everybody feel included. She brings many people from our community to do bingo with these senior citizens, and these senior citizens, many don't even have family members. Many people get forgotten within our community. And these seniors actually love seeing us come in while they're doing bingo, and they celebrate their wins. Even I want to be a senior quick because I love the center. I'm like, when do I turn 62 or 65? But Miriam, when it comes to Thanksgiving, the way you feed the family, the way they love on you, the way they hug on you, and the tears that you bring to the families means a lot to us. And when we did Christmas, a few of my team members went with you to go do Christmas. Christmas is like shopping away at a department store, at your place. And personally, I've been there, right? As a little girl, I've been there. But being in your space with these children, it makes me proud. It makes me proud because you could retire with your husband, you could stay home and enjoy your life, you could be traveling the world, but instead you choose to be a senior yourself serving other seniors. I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for your dedication, your service, your servant heart, and caring for others who you don't have to. You don't have to. But even your mother's there. Your mother's 95. So the multi-generations of individuals at the center means a lot to us because her mother's there, she's there, and Miriam, wow. Thank you so much, and you are a woman of reason, a powerful woman, and thank you. Thank you so much. Bring up Miriam Thomas from Blessed Angels.
Thank you, Honorable Lucy. I am just so humbled to stand here before all of you. I mean, all of these giants. When I was told that I was going to be one of the honorees, I thought, me? Okay. So, Blessed Angels Community Center is several things. We're not only a senior center, but we serve the community with food. We've served over 2.5 million people. And it wasn't easy starting. I'll just share this little story with you to give those that are trying to do things to have hope. I started the back of my trunk. It was my passion. Well, going backwards, I used to work at Trinity University as administrator, got a herniated disc. The doctor said, we'll fix it, you'll be back to work, in 4 weeks. 4 weeks became 6 weeks. After a while, long story short, the doctor said I would never ever work again. So I knew God had a lot in store for me, and I knew it wasn't over, but the doctor said that was it. So I gave up everything. I started writing out, this person can have this person can have that. And I told my husband to put wallpaper, just flowers around the wall. Because I knew, all I could do was just lay up in the bed, and if I didn't move, then I wouldn't have any pain. The pain was like somebody taking a knife, doing this non-stop. But I knew God had more in store for me, but I didn't know what it was, so I was just making plans to die. And then my pastor came along and he said, Marion, why don't you come over to the church and volunteer? And I said, Pastor, I'd love to get out of the house. I was on 14 medications. They drug you out. And so you take all these pills thinking that the pills are going to make you well. They don't. They just dope you out, But when I went to volunteer at the church, I learned that as long as I was busy, I was on a medication. My pastor said, Marion, can you come on full time? I said, I'll pray on it. I'll talk to my husband. I prayed on it. God said, go for it. I went over there, and right now, today, I'm on 0 medication. All I'm saying is you have to have faith in God and know that He's got plans for you. So one of the things that I did at the church, my pastor just told me, Marion, do what you want to do. So I took over the food pantry. And we were the Pied Pipers on the east side. We'd have cars lined up everywhere, because I enjoy doing it. And it's such a good feeling giving back to the community and helping them. So when the church closed down the food pantry due to lack of funds, I said, I got to do something. So I have a wonderful husband that's sitting here with me. He's a retired mailman. So I kissed him on the hand and took the money out of his 401k. and started my own food pantry.
Sounds like me and your daddy.
He's a good man. And so I would pass out business cards. If you need any food, just give me a call, and I'd meet him at the post office, have the food ready, and just give it to them out of the boxes. That's the way I got started. And then another church heard about what I was doing, and they said you could use our fellowship hall. So, and the rest is history. Now I have 5 buildings. Not only do we have the food pantry, we have a senior center. I have 250 seniors that come every week. Matter of fact, tomorrow, I call them my babies. Tomorrow we're taking a field trip, and we're coming here because they want to visit. And so, they dance, exercise, they get a free meal. We have celebrity bingo, and we always invite the Honorable Lucy to come and call bingo, and they love it because many seniors, and I'm a senior myself, because I know if it wasn't for getting out, they have nothing to do. A lot of them told me, Marion, before this, all I was doing was sitting at home looking out my window. I had nowhere to go. I had nothing to do. But now they come to Blessed Angels, they help me, they volunteer, and they love it. And it gives them a purpose. And they're serious volunteers. Every year we do Thanksgiving, we do over 2,000 families. Toys, same thing. The toys, like she said, we just take all the tables and chairs down and we set it up like a Walmart. We had so many people this last November, December. We're in a strip center, just to show you the need is so great. The line was all the way down from one end of the mall to the end of the mall, and then double back, and then around the building. It's a lot of people that are in need. So we're just here to help and do whatever we can, and with God's mercy and grace, we're gonna keep it going. So thank you for recognizing, and for those of you that are out there trying to do things and don't know which way to go, just know, shoot for the moon. If you should fail, don't worry, because you'll still be among the stars.
And I'm serious, I'm waiting to become a senior citizen here. So, the next powerhouse, this individual, I met her just a little bit before I came into office, and she was a person with purpose, passion, and dedication for the community. This lady does so much for the community, and I remember she gave me a call and she said, "Hey Lucy, the newspaper wants to do a story on me. Would you comment?" And I said, "LaJuana, why are you hiding behind the scenes?" LaJuana Chambers, Tactic Growth Incorporation. Wow, when I first came in, I think my first 2 months, I asked her if we could do a story on Black history. I learned about Black history at schools, but I didn't realize that the land records in the county clerk's office were reading as example, Negro woman, healthy in body, Lucy to be delivered on so-and-so day. SACAM had just became an organization in a small home in the east side, and she invited me and she asked me to sponsor, and I said yes, without even questioning that. She's the founder and CEO of Tactic Growth Strategies, government contracting, grant writing, and nonprofit development. She's featured in the O Magazine, Entrepreneur, Forbes, is that the 40th? Forbes, and Essay Business Journal 40 Under 40 honorees in 2022. Her leadership roles on former Mayor Ron Nuremberg Small Business Economic Development Advocacy Committee, and many, many other roles. Launching her own business with a mission to bridge the gap between organizations, the community, and businesses, and the funding they needed to serve others. Through government contracting, grant writing, and nonprofit development, she turned complex processes into opportunities and understanding. Her reputation speaks for herself. She precedes many others. She holds many prestige awards, many that I have attended myself to see, and have been honored to see her be honored in our community. Her journey reflects her expertise, her perseverance, her dedication, and her resilience. LaJuana Chamber, you've been a leader growing in this community for a long, long time. I, as the county clerk, even prior to becoming the county clerk, she called me and said somebody in Bexar County had not paid her a bill. It wasn't my bill, but it was a bill within county government. Because of the integrity of the positions we hold, we want to make sure that when you do any work with Bexar County, we take care of our responsibilities. LaJuana has fought for SACAM since the day I walked in. I'm a Latina, but I'm still a brown woman. Her passion for Black history has been a force, and the county clerk's office holds Black history till 1700, even before emancipation, after emancipation, and we did a timeline with LaJuana before Deborah came in. LaJuana has fought for your Black history for a long, long time, and we are one of many few county clerks that has continued to scan, digitize, and preserve Black history because of people like LaJuana Chambers who cares about your history. SACAM has been able to expand the historical collection because of the support of the city, the county, and because of the county clerk's collection and many others of our community, and because of people like LaJuana Chambers who care about the history in Bexar County. She doesn't have to. She could have gone anywhere else in the state of Texas, could have gone to any other state in the nation, but she chose us and we chose you. LaJuana Chamber, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for being a warrior in this community, being a force for the Black community, and being a woman of influence, and a business owner, and an entrepreneur who brings others beside you. Not behind you, not in front of you, beside you. Thank you. LaJuana Chambers, please come up.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for our Honorable Lucy Adame-Clark. She created this opportunity. As she said, it's been 5+ years of just taking the time to think about and thank some of the women in our community who care. When Lucy mentioned the time that I had to come to the office for an invoice, it was 6 months where I got the government contract, and I was one of the first African Americans in that category for the county, for Bexar County to actually receive the government contract. I had several contracts awarded that year, actually. And it was a multi-year contract, and it was 6 months where I hadn't been paid, and I had a team. I'd already hired my specialist, so I had 6 people working for me, and I had gone 6 months without pay. It was by the grace of God that I had Lucy as an advocate and as a warrior. But when I went to her office, she said, "Oh no, that's not right. We gotta make sure you get paid." I would have had to go to court and go through a very long, drawn out process for that to have been reconciled. And by the grace and by the glory of God, I didn't have to, because I had who I needed in this position. It's so important that we think about the types of people that we elect to serve, because those are the types of things that make or break businesses all the time. And it was by the grace of God that I had other contracts that were able to float us to make sure that those people, I was taking people to the dentist that were working for me. I was taking them to the dentist and paying the bill myself out of pocket. I was taking them to the hospital if they had to go. I had, all my staff had kids, they had real lives. And I was saying to myself, I cannot not pay you. I will not pay myself. And I will make sure that you are paid, because you have a family too. And I need to make sure that you're okay. Entrepreneurship was not something that I thought I would ever step into, especially not out here in Texas, where I was so far away from my family. But because of people like Lucy that I met along the way when I moved here in San Antonio in 2013, people like Tracy Watts, Stephanie Collier, the Gordon Benjamins, the Ray Washingtons, the Wesley Crawfords, the Sherane Barretts, Capricia Dawsons, and Donna Bonds, these people that if they weren't in my life, I wouldn't be who I am today, and I wouldn't be where I am today. They make this possible. I am because of you. And it is very hard. It is very hard to start a business, to grow a business, to hire people, and to make sure that they understand that when you don't pay them what you would love to pay them, it's not because you don't want to, but it's because you can't. Because the government contracting environment is making it impossible for you to be able to get paid your worth. We can have a conversation. I don't want to belabor it, because we've got other people we need to go into the exhibit and actually get to know each other in that context. So I just want to say again, thank you. And I want to say, remember to keep the fight and continue to surround yourself with people who believe in you and who will never let you go, because that's how you're going to make it happen.
That's right.
Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, I love my Juana Chambers. She's named after my mom too. Her name is Juana. So,
That's what you got looking over here.
yeah, no, she has been fighting a good fight, and I've seen her personally. This woman, I am so honored to be her daughter. The struggles we went through, the adversity, the lack of opportunities. My father was too dark to be a Latino or too light to be a black man. He served in the military in the 50s and 60s. But marrying my mom, we've been married going on 60 years. She taught us to fight for others when we couldn't fight for ourselves. Even when we lived in housing, we saw so many things. We're talking about drive-by shootings, people on drugs, women going through domestic violence, but she made sure her house was held together. She raised 5 strong women and dedicated her time and efforts to the community since 1970. My father loved her dearly and allowed her to advocate for the community, even though we were poor. One thing she taught us was to vote. She took us around Henry B. Gonzalez. She took us around Henry Cisneros. She called Maria Antonieta Barosaba. She was running for office. And she said, you really want to win this campaign? You got to look at the projects. You got to walk the housing community. Even though they don't pay taxes, you got to walk that community to make sure you win this race. She would throw on suits from the Goodwill on her daughters and take us to City Hall. She promoted voter rights, disability awareness in the 70s when she had her own daughter in 1973, when she didn't even know what disability was. She was raising 2 daughters, born in 68 and 72, when she was given a daughter who she herself did not understand. Back in the days, they called it mental retardation, and now it's IDD. But at the same token, she was educating others about disability awareness. She fought for gun control in the 70s when we're still fighting for it today. And the development of the West Side was very important to her because it was overlooked and looked under. We lived in a box that she made sure that we looked beyond the box of the Alassane Apache courts. She lent her support to many leads and organizations. She was a warrior, and she still is a warrior. As she's getting older, I watch her face and I still see the young her who used to always fight for her own daughters against discrimination. And teachers will always talk down to us at schools. And she would go and knock at the doors of the schools and fight for us. 6 women who come beside her and came together from different experiences created one goal: to advocate for their community since the 1970s. She was part of that group. She was one of 6 still living, so there's 4 of them now. They shared a commitment to uplifting their community through voter rights, voter registration, education, educational supports, communities, working opportunities for labor workers, giving people a chance at a table at a seat at a table that you didn't belong, when her herself was facing those issues. They each faced unique challenges, yet they used their challenges to transform not only their own children, but individuals in the community for efforts to build a powerhouse of brown and black communities that are now in leadership positions. The journey will forever have a lasting impact on the many lives that you touched. I have seen you win many campaigns, and I never understood. But now as an elected official in front of you, now I understand. And I say thank you. Thank you for standing beside many leaders who are elected and who have passed away. And thank you for giving your own daughters a chance to survive in the same community that was trying to knock us down. Muchas gracias, Marde. Por favor, ven para acá, para frente, para que des unas palabras. Sí, Adame.
Let me tell you. Okay, it's here instead. Let me tell you. And they always like those ladies, all you beautiful ladies, all of us girls are beautiful. So we're all beautiful. You know. No, I never look nobody over. If I'm sorry you told her you're still up here. I'm still up there with you. This girl never says her story. I always tell her, keep your face up and never take a no for an answer. We hit those rocks, we kick, we fall, and we got out 3 or 4 times stronger. We knocked doors, they closed it, 3 were open. We continued. I was laying on my sofa. She was about 13. There was this young girl, I'm not gonna say her name, at the course. They were trying to abuse her. One day was had a jab. She comes, Mom, do you know the number of hotline? I said, yes. What happened, Lucy? What are you doing? So I got up from the sofa, I was laying seeing TV. It was a weekend. And she was over happy over there. And then I hear her brother, you know what names? And I said, hey, you're talking to my daughter. You're talking to my daughter. I'm sorry, Jane, blah, blah, blah. Okay. She said, Mira, get over here. No, I'm gonna help. So I called the cops. I called the officers. I said, get here, this is going on, this is happening. And 6 officers came, they shot their tires and everything. They, like that, Lucy. That's why I was prepared with. But I always knew she was a warrior. And she was, she would always kept her head out, shoulder up, and defend people. She will defend you, different ways, a lot of different ways. Like in school, a lot of things. I'm not surprised she's who she is right now. And that time, they call me, and I see caseworkers coming with officers, more officers, and then I said, where's my daughter? I see her run. I said, where's my daughter? I ran, and my husband, no, vente pa acá, Lucy. So I go, and we're in the casinos, so they take her. And then they call me, we got her with us, a sergeant. I said, okay. About 6 in the morning, next day, a judge called. Judge stays in charge for young children as CPS, and said, don't worry about Lucy Adame-Clark. She wasn't clerk, she was my Adame only. And said, don't worry about her. He said, you're her mom, aren't you? Thank you for helping those people. I said, well, that's what I do. I was afraid of my daughter. She's little. She's little, but she knows what she's doing. Just thank God that that's the first thing I do. I thank God that to protect her. Not only her, everybody in there. The officers and everybody who is the victim. And because I wouldn't, like I said, you can understand why I don't understand. But she had never told this story. But I'm so proud of her. So proud of her. She could have done this too. So I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Mami. Thank you. Muchas gracias. I know Rita Hernandez has the story, so Rita, you'll sell it for $1 million. El día que me muera. At this time, I don't know if Catherine Shields is here. No?
I'll accept on her behalf.
Okay, that's your mommy? Okay. Catherine Shields is not only a mover and a shaker in our community, she's an owner and operator of many McDonald's that are franchised here in San Antonio. And she actually has our records on the run. This young lady has really branched out not only in her business, but partnering up with government to make sure services not only come through affordable food for families, but also services through the county clerk's office. She moved to San Antonio in 1980 with her husband Charles and 2 oldest children after becoming McDonald's franchises. They spend long hours and dedicated time to creating their own legacy for their own children. Then one of the daughters is here. Created jobs for many, many others and for generations. The loss of her husband, her daughter stepped up to help her mother run the family restaurants. Starting the family business with her husband and children about 3 or 4 decades ago to create a legacy for the children and the east side of San Antonio. With her determination, she balanced long hours in the kitchen and nurturing her own family, turning adversity and loss of her husband into strength. Her hard work and her resilience not only kept the restaurant afloat, but it reopened, and in connections into other communities. At this point, Veronica Shields, the family legacy, is on Walter Street and I-35. It actually operates in many places. She has done amazing things. And how many restaurants does she own? Two restaurants now. So I want to say thank you to Catherine and Veronica Shields Witter, the McDonald's franchise owners of the restaurants. Thank you all so much. You want to have a few words? And it looks funny because McDonald's and then the truck is there. So it looks like we're selling tacos and then selling McDonald's.
No, that's good.
For you, Catherine.
Get a picture with you.
You don't want to? Oh, she said thank you all. She loves you all. She's Morris. Thank you. Give her a round of applause, please. This young lady, I met her before I became the county clerk. Myself and Lina Prado have done an organization where we collect dresses for seniors in our community. So we've been doing it for 12 years. At a time when we needed some help, Kathy Hamilton stepped up. She had a store downtown. I think that's where you started, right? You started. And her heart and her service to the community. She's the Chief Executive Officer of San Antonio Threads. She has worked very tirelessly. She even lost a daughter recently that we have all seen on social media. And I wanted to champion her, not only for herself, but for her sacrifices that she's put forward for her community. Kathy, wow. You taking these kids in when they have nobody to turn to means a lot to us. When they come from the foster system and they have no family to lean on, they lean on Kathy Hamilton, San Antonio Threads. She has a story behind her, and one day she's going to speak to you about her story, because you should learn how these nonprofits actually start their nonprofits. She was a court-appointed special advocate for CASA, used experience to create San Antonio Threads, advocate for young girls and young men and young adults through her Retail Life program that offers new clothing. And it's new clothing. I've been there. It's a department store. Hygiene, shoes, socks, you name it. And it's all free. Seeing young girls and women rummage through the barrel of worn clothing during the times of CASA advocate, she used this to build a solution for the community that she helped before. She wanted to make sure that the community she was serving walked away with not just a bag of used clothes, but brand new clothing to go to school. Through San Antonio Threads, these aged-out foster youth and underserved girls and women have the opportunity to have new clothing, shoes, items for free. She became a community hub of this and supports and encourages and empowers many others. As she puts this clothing on these kids as they foster out of the system, that may be the last time that we see them, or that may be an opportunity for them to start a career in their lives. As I call you forward, Kathy, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for everything you do. Thank you for not only supporting your own organization, but supporting many other nonprofits that need support from you. Recently, I picked up some materials that we needed for the prom dresses, and you all the nonprofits here have never said no. Even when you're at the worst of your time in your life, you never say no. This day, recognizing you means a lot to us, because we want you to continue understanding that we not only applaud you, but we want to continue supporting you, because we also did a collection for hoodies for your teenagers. Kathy Hamilton, muchas gracias. Please come forward.
So thank you so much. I know there are many nonprofits and women that I know, like Rita, who knew me from the way beginning as I was starting to this project called San Antonio Threads. And that project was to provide dignity and comfort and confidence to our at-risk youth. So, you know, you just start. I always tell kids all the time, you know, that they ask me, why did you do this for us as they're coming in and shopping? And I say, well, I was you. I was like you. And I thought, when I grow up, I want to give back because I know what it's like to do without. I always joke about it now. My mom used to take us back to school shopping at garage sales. Not in our neighborhood. We would go to the nice neighborhoods. They had tags on those clothes, you know. My mom was no dummy. So we've been around 10 years now, and I've loved every youth. I've loved every minute. And I think it's very important. My younger daughter is here today with my rowdy granddaughters. And it's important for all of us to keep doing what we're doing so that they have someone to look up to. I know my mom is no longer here, but I know she's proud of me. And every kid that we've helped is worth it. You know, and being able for a youth to choose something brand new is just special. It never gets old when these kids come in the shop to shop. They always are surprised. We get to pick from this stuff. And sometimes I had a young girl stand there and she goes, "Miss, I can't shop here." I said, "Why?" She's like, "I got $2. I said, "You shop here for free. This is your place. We do this for you." She's like, "But Miss, I can't pay you back." I said, "This is how you pay us back. You stay in school, you pick the clothes that you like, you feel good about yourself, you go on with your life." You know, and that's what we do. I think that's what everybody in here is doing, is helping everybody go on with their lives no matter their circumstance. So I appreciate you, Ms. Adame-Clark. And I appreciate everybody here. I know Pam, Cynthia, Marion, Rita, all of us have been running around in the same circles, and we've all worked together over the years. And I appreciate that. So thank you.
I think the ladies are gonna step up, but I wanna say the honorees names, because there's some that were not here. So it was Miriam Thomas, LaJuana Chambers, Pamela Allen, Kathy Hamilton, Priscilla Rivera, Savannah Boshe Ramirez, Alicia Carriollo. I'm gonna get your name right soon. I'm sorry. Rita Hernandez. They do it to me. They call me Lucy Adam all the time. Juanita Adame, Cynthia Taz, Guadalupe Ibarra, deceased. Frances Cadena, still living. Yolanda Guajardo, deceased. Veronica Shields, Julia Ross, deceased. And at this point, and then the ladies at this time are gonna speak in for me. Oh, what is those? Yeah. No, ma. So so you're gonna come up here? And then we're gonna take you to the amazing museum. I'm gonna say some closing remarks after them.
Thank you for your time, everyone, your patience. I know it's a little warm here, but thank you very much for sticking it out. We appreciate it. So I just want to talk about an individual that I had the pleasure of working with for 7 years, going on 8 years. Not only I had the pleasure, but everyone under her organization or the office that she holds. She allows individuals who have a voice to, you know, if they have ideas, they have a voice, and they can provide services for the public. And if these are ideas that we share with her, and she sees that this is going to benefit the public, then she allows us to follow through with those ideas to help the public. I mean, there have been so many projects. One of them being Records on the Run. That was a group effort, not just, you know, of course, Priscilla and Ms. Adame-Clark were with the veterans, and she just straight asked them, "What do you need from us?" And they explained to her, "We need services. You know, not everybody can go to the courthouse." And which is true, because I would see veterans in wheelchairs, you know, trying to cross to the garage across the street. So, of course, because Ms. Adame-Clark never says no. She says, we'll do it. She said, we'll do it. And then, of course, Priscilla's with her like, what did you say? So Priscilla went back to go do some research, and we got with our vendor, and the vendor was able to do that because of the system that we have. And which is fortunate, and that's something that we were able to get an answer back right away. So, so that happened. That was our mobile unit, and then of course Ms. Adame-Clark, coming from law enforcement, is used to working with command vehicles. The sheriff's office has these command vehicles, so that's where she comes in. And with the mobile units, it was kind of something that I work with elections, so the mobile units is we have the Pelican cases for for the regional sites, so we kind of use the same method. So it's a collaboration. And so she also got the team involved by, we have to name it. So we put an email out to the staff, to the team members, because we needed a name for this. So everyone participated and we chose the name. And not only the name, but we also chose our little icon, our Records on the Run guy. And we had two, and I know Eva is the one that did the our little Records on the Run guy for the band. And then we had another individual, she's not with us, who picked that name, Records on the Run. So, and when that command vehicle came out, we had to measure it. We taped it out to make sure we were gonna be able to serve the public, and it was gonna be comfortable. And all that happened before COVID. So when COVID happened, we had Commissioner's Court calling Ms. Adame-Clark, like, hey, what about your van? What about the command vehicle? So this was something that, just like all of y'all have been saying, everything happens, people are put in certain places for a reason. So that vehicle was used during COVID. The mobile, the Pelican cases were used during COVID, and people were able to register their business names to get help from the government because no one was going to the businesses. People were able to purchase their marriage license because people were passing away and people wanted to get married. Some of them may have had COVID. We were able to get the wills to put in safekeeping because people were concerned. These are things that a lot of people don't think about that, but a lot of people do. So those are the types of things that we're able to do to provide to the public because of Ms. Adame-Clark's forward thinking. We went to a business, and I saw a poster. It's an inspirational poster, and it was a shark. And it was sharks always have to be moving. And that's this woman here. I said, she always has to be moving. If she is not moving, she feels like she's not doing her job for the public. So she is always doing something, and she does a great job. Now we're going to introduce Mrs. Adame-Clark.
I'm gonna close with this. We can enjoy the beautiful museum and you can take pictures. Remember, it's not about being a legend. It's about leaving a legacy. So you don't want to be a legend. You don't want to be the icon. You want to be the legacy for many years to come. So I want to say thank you. Congratulations, my warrior sisters. And thank you, family members, for being here on this beautiful day. And we're going to take you into the beautiful museum. And this is a museum that goes back to 1700. And these are the ladies that were recognized last year. And there's other ladies that were recognized the last 3 years as well, too. Congratulations, ladies. Give yourself a round of applause. Thank you all so much.